Good morning and welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up with us today. Today we're waking up here on Panama City Beach at Marine Max, and I'm here with boat expert Bob Fowler from Marine Max. And Bob, what am I looking at? This is a beautiful yacht.
This is the brand new 2015 Sea Ray 47 Sundancer. Beautiful, beautiful boat. And
47 because it's 47 feet long, is that right?
That's correct.
I'm smart like that.
Yeah, it's considered to be a 47.
Yeah.
Actually, with the platform on the back, it's closer to 49.
Okay.
But it's under 50 feet, so therefore it's considered a sport yacht.
All right, a sport yacht. What could I find inside that yacht?
Well, you're going to find 2 full staterooms, full separate heads, an upper salon, lower salon. Sea Ray is designed and invented, came out with what is called Skyflow. It's more cathedral ceilings. You're going to be down the lower salon, but you're going to feel like you're a part of the upper salon. It's just a great boat. It also has Zeus propulsion, joystick docking controls. I'm telling you, I've had the boat out several times. She runs like a big sport boat in cornering and things of that nature, very fast. But then you come around the docks, it's with a joystick, and it is a dream, let me tell you. Also has skyhook on it. If I get out into a place, I had the boat out last week, and I want to stay in that place and walk to right there, I hit skyhook, and the boat stays positioned with the satellite exactly where I want it to stay. Autopilot, all kinds of things on this boat, which makes it very, very special.
You know, and it's also got a sunroof of all things.
Yes, it does. A retractable sunroof. Of course, the sunshade back here in the back, that's retractable with remote. And just a lot of special features about this vessel.
Yeah, what I really was impressed by is that whole galley area, that lower salon, is like a no-kidding kitchen down there. You've got a sink, you've got a microwave, you've got a side-by-side refrigerator, plus extra
freezer.
seating.
Yeah.
And freezer, yeah.
And you've got a sofa that turns into a sofa bed, and plus your 2, staterooms, and the master is a full beam.
So and what does that mean, full beam?
It goes across the entire beam of the boat, and so that's very unusual for a vessel under 50 feet.
That's just amazing stuff. I mean, there's almost too much to look at on this boat, and too many amenities to really describe in a limited time.
Sure.
So we're going to come back, and we're going to do a couple more segments on this boat next week.
Great.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to exploring this thing.
I'll tell you what I'd love to do is take you out on it.
Hey, let's do that too.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right, Ed, I can do that. I'm a cheap date, so Bob Fowler, if we want to learn more about this boat, what do we have to do?
You contact us at Marine Max right here at Treasure Island Marine at 3605 Thomas Drive right here in Panama City, or you can call us at 850-708-1317, and I'd love to set an appointment to show this great vessel.
All right, call Bob Fowler at Marine Max and you check out this beautiful Sundancer here. We'll be right back after you're waking up with Don weather. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Alan Graham and Shelley Calloway from Counts Real Estate, and today we're going to talk about condos. Is that right?
Yeah, Don, it's great to see you again. Glad to have you back. And
thank you, and welcome back to the show. And Shelley, welcome to you as well.
Thank you.
It's always great to bring one of my professionals that we use for lending, and Shelley is somebody that we depend on. Condos are such a unique animal in the real estate world, and they don't comply with the standard 30-year mortgage and everybody can borrow money on
really?
it. Oh, okay. No. And so Shelley's here today to talk to you about some loan packages and some opportunities that she has for us to lend on condos. And then once she presents that, I'm supposed to have everybody call into me to go buy one.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a good working relationship.
Yes.
Shelley, what makes condo ownership so different from home ownership?
Well, condo financing has been different really for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's been harder to obtain condo financing in general. I think the most attractive thing here in Panama City Beach right now, as Allie can probably attest to, is condo financing, investment condos. And so we actually have we have the ability to do warrantable and non-warrantable condos.
Well, let me just back up a minute because I got a quick question for you that just kind of popped into my head as you were talking about condo ownership. You know, most people down here, you think of a condo as an investment or maybe even a vacation home or whatever. What if a condo is your primary residence? I mean, would the financing be different? It
would be a little bit different. Your biggest thing you're going to want to look at a condo is going to be whether or not it's warrantable and non-warrantable. And I go back to that.
Okay.
And what that means, warrantable means it's already on the approved list. So it would either be on the approved list for Fannie or Freddie, which is conventional financing, or we would look at FHA. But the main thing is we have the ability to do warrantable and non-warrantable condos. So if it's non-warrantable, we can actually submit a condo questionnaire, get all the necessary documentation that we need from the HOA.
So what does that mean, though, if it's warrantable? I mean, what was that?
That's a great question. Warrantable means that it actually has passed all of the condo questionnaires and checklists that Fannie, Freddie, and FHA are going to want to see.
Okay, and it basically it just says it's a sound structure, it's a good deal, it's whatever.
They're looking for
it's a standard.
They're looking for the number of people that actually occupy the property, whether they're primary residents, second home investors. They're looking for anything out of the ordinary that would make it a risk as an investment to lend on.
You don't want to be the first guy to buy the condo in the complex, do you?
Well, I mean, probably not. Yeah, that'd probably be a little more difficult.
Yeah, I mean that could be tough. You'd have to buy it in cash, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
But the good news is that we have really been experiencing getting a lot of condos approved here in Panama City and Panama City Beach, and we've been very successful with that. And we have a whole team dedicated to working on the condo financing. So if it is non-warrantable, we can go ahead, try to get the limited review done along with a full review, and we can try to get them on the approved list.
Okay, so say I'm a homeowner here, and I'm like, I want to buy a condo for when people come down to visit from New York or someplace like that, or I want to rent it out during the season or whatever. What would I have to do? I have to come, of course, find one first, or see you first?
Absolutely. Well, as Alan mentioned, we're definitely going to want to look at your documentation, make sure you're pre-approved.
Okay.
We're looking at two different things. We're looking at approval on the buyer, and we're looking at approval on the property, being the condo. So we're going to do the necessary checks, and we're going to make sure that they're approved as well as the condo. But at any rate,
so I'm going to need a pile of money. Is that it? And good credit?
You're generally going to be looking at 20 to 30% down on investment properties.
Right.
But we do now offer 30-year fixed, 15-year fixed. We have ARM options. We even have self-employed stated income verified assets. We have very unique programs that actually allows someone to come in and actually purchase the home, and a lot of times it's no income documentation with a 720 plus credit score.
Alan, is there much of a market for condos now?
Absolutely. We've got the lowest price per square foot condos in just about all of Florida. A condo facing directly over the Gulf here, you're going to be paying about $250 a square foot. That same condo in Jacksonville or Miami is going to be close to $400 a square foot. So you can look at the water a lot cheaper here.
Yeah, I suppose you can. And if we do want to buy a condo, just give you a call. And
give me a call, and I'll be put you to the right place.
Alan Graham at Counts Real Estate, and Shelley, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, we'll be keeping our eye on the condo market.
Thanks for having us.
And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Allison Smith from Herb Effects Landscaping and Pest Control. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, good morning.
See you.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Now, I understand bees are kind of a problem this time of year. Is that right?
A couple of things going on that we're getting a lot of questions and phone calls about. One are solitary bees.
Solitary bees.
Solitary.
Kind of a lone wolf bee.
They are a lone wolf bee. Here you go. Yeah. They build little, they almost like an ant mound around your lawn, and you'll see one hole, and people will call, oh, there are these bees going in and out of my grass. It's actually one bee per hole. They're technically called cicada killers. Now in the South, we say katydids. But those, the cicadas, and they call the funny noise, right, locusts. They actually lay their eggs, and that's their favorite food. So they drag one in, and they lay their egg in that, and it eats. Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
But they're harmless. They make a hole in your yard, and they have a little mound on top. They drag their egg in there. They lay their eggs. Once it fills in, they don't harm you. They don't hurt your lawn. They just look scary because people see bees coming in on their lawn. And they have no stinger. They can't hurt you.
Would you consider them kind of beneficial because they kill locusts?
Yeah.
I mean, because locusts are bad.
And they eat stuff, right.
Yeah, so, locusts will just...
But we get tons of phone calls this time
of year. Go through your neighborhood.
I've got bees in my yard.
Yeah, bees, yeah.
And the other thing going on right now are actually...
But I just want to back up real quick. They don't sting.
They do not have a stinger.
So don't worry about them, basically, is what you're saying. Don't worry
they
about
can't hurt
killing them, digging them up.
You're walking through. They look just like a honeybee. And we all know honeybees can sting. But
I didn't know that.
Oh, honeybees can sting, yes.
Oh, I think you said can't sting.
No, honeybees can sting
Of
you.
course, okay.
Yes,
Of
they
course
do
they
sting.
do.
But these little
All right.
guys are solitary bees, and you're actually stinging all the little females, all the solitary mommies. There you go.
All right.
So, harmless. They make tons of little mounds all over your lawn.
Which is just so unusual to me because you always think of bees as being this little community, this little society, and they're,
Not
everybody
bees.
has their role, and
Right.
these are just all by themselves.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How odd is that? Now, you were going on to say something else before I
Carpenter
interrupted you.
bees.
Carpenter bees.
If you've been on your back deck and you feel like you hear something sawing, and you'll see maybe little piles of sawdust or something, a hole, they're carpenter bees, and they do actually like your decking, fence posts. Some people have it under their soffits of their house. They can actually drill a perfect hole, and they crawl in, and once you get in there, they can have a tunnel 4 to 8 inches through wood, and they actually lay their eggs in
Wow.
there.
Now, I've seen those holes.
Yes.
Yeah, and they are perfectly round.
Yes.
It almost looks like somebody
Yes,
drilled it in there.
perfect. How they
Yeah.
do that's amazing.
Now, I'm sorry, does it make a difference what kind of wood it is? I mean, will they get into
Soft.
pressure
They like,
treated?
No, they like softwood.
Okay.
So if you have, especially like decking and fence posts, that's kind of thin, that is some of their favorite to get into. So if you have any damaged wood maybe around your house, that is also soft for them to drill into. But you'll see these really huge bumblebees coming towards you with a white face. That's actually the male, and they can't sting you. They're harmless.
Okay.
The guys are gentle. They can't hurt you. Just the females are the
But
ones
it's the females that
get
are
you.
lethal.
Yes,
As
yes,
with all
yes.
species. Okay.
But this is the time of year that you really will start seeing and hearing. You actually can hear them a lot of the times before you see them. We had a problem on our deck last year, and it was crazy. You could be outside and hear this.
They're in there working.
Crazy. It was, little guys going crazy.
So we've got those solitary bees,
Harmless.
harmless. Carpenter bees, only the males do not sting. The
Right.
females will sting
They can
you.
sting you, and they can do damage to your property. I mean, it's kind of odd. You don't think of bees being able to tunnel 8 inches into your house, but they definitely can.
And any other bees
Definitely.
out there we should be worried about?
Not bees, but this is the time of year people will have millipedes hatching, and one millipede can lay 300 eggs.
Jeez.
So yes, as a lot of the live oaks are dropping their leaves right now, so a lot of leaf litter. You want to keep the leaf litter away from your house all that you can. One, that's a place for roaches, not your mulch so much, but all the stuff that lays on top. But millipedes love that right now.
Yeah, and millipedes are just gross. Do they do any damage?
No, and some people are sensitive, so yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
they are kind of gross, actually. If you've seen Indiana Jones, you hate millipedes for life. Allison Smith from Herb Effects, thank you so much for coming on the show and tell us about the critters that are out there.
Yeah. If you have any questions, call 850-230-1200.
Herb Effects Landscaping and Pest Control.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Dr. Marjorie Moore from the University of Florida, and it is Family and Consumer Services Sciences rather, Director. And you teach classes in what we, I guess, used to call home ec, right?
Home economics, yes.
Yeah.
And what I do here in Bay County is I teach classes in nutrition, food safety. I train restaurant managers. And the last time I was on your show, I talked about food preservation.
Yeah, we were canning and stuff. Yeah, I do
Right.
remember you had all that stuff here.
And also financial resource management.
So do you find that nowadays those basic skills needed to run a household, to plan your life, to plan for the future, and I see you've got some classes here, getting your house in order, money basics, do you think those skills are lacking now?
They're not taught as much, particularly in the high schools, as much. But we do have programs like ours with the University of Florida Extension. I teach those classes, as well as we have 4-H. Our 4-H program, of course, we work with volunteers to work with youth from the ages of 5 to 18. But myself and my 4-H agent, we can go into the schools to teach these life skills.
You know, we talked a little bit off camera before, but I remember my son was in middle school, or maybe it was high school, and he wanted to know how a checkbook worked. I'm like, they don't teach that in school, I guess. I mean, so we had to sit down and show him. He just had this natural curiosity, like, how do you pay bills? And some people who don't have that benefit of that type of parenting where your parent will sit down, where are you supposed to learn all this stuff? Where are you supposed to pick that up? How to run a household?
Well, it's good that it would be good if parents would start working with their kids early on. But again, there are various agencies like ours that teach those classes.
Now, I see you've got a couple of classes here. One's called Money Basics, but one really kind of struck me. It says, Getting One's House in Order. And it says, and this is the class that you taught, it says, we'll discuss what needs to be done to prepare your family in case of an untimely accident or death. As now, we just went through a tragedy in our family. My mom passed, and she was elderly, and we were kind of expecting it, and we kind of had a plan, but you're never ready.
You're never ready, but at the same time, no matter how old you are, you really need a plan. And what this class does is we teach people about getting ready, getting their paperwork in order, making sure they write down everything and communicate what needs to be done to the family.
Well, we have to run off to a break, but on the other side of that, I do want to talk more about what's some of the paperwork we should have in order and things we should do to prepare for maybe the unexpected. And we'll be right back with Dr. Marjorie Moore after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Dr. Marjorie Moore from the University of Florida's Family and Consumer Sciences Department, and you teach classes to people who want to learn more about preparing and running their lives. And I know we talked about preparing for the unexpected, like perhaps having a will. And what do? Do you leave your family holding the bag, or do you make a plan? Or do you need a will? Do you need certain paperwork? Or should you just talk to someone and write your intentions down?
Well, it would be good to have a will in place and making sure that you have someone designated who knows about the will and where it is, because if anything happens, nobody knows what to do. So having that will spells out everything a person, their wishes. And the other thing they need to do is make sure they write down all of their bank accounts, insurances, as well as their doctors, everything. We have tools to help people remember what they need to
so have it all in one place somewhere.
Yeah, this class just kind of help people start thinking, okay, what do I need to do? Where do I need to put my papers? Who do I need to talk to, etc.
Nobody wants to think about it, but we're all going to die
It's
someday.
not pleasant. It's not pleasant, but it needs to be done. No matter how much money you have, you need to make sure that you do something.
Or how little you have.
Right.
Even. You still need to have a plan.
That's correct.
Or at least tell people what you want. I know just anecdotally, when my father-in-law passed away, he had a note and a safety deposit key, and we went to a safety deposit box in his bank, pulled it out just like in the movies, and his will was there, everything was there, all the paperwork he needed, his intentions were there.
And he had someone on the signature, because if he was the only person,
Had my wife on it.
and that's good, because my best friend's father just passed away, and no one was on the safe deposit, so they have to wait until they get the death certificate and go through a lot of things before they can get into the safe deposit
And
box.
that's part of the things that you would learn if you went to one of your classes. Now, if somebody wanted to learn more, how do we contact you? How do we
They can call my office at 784-6105.
784-6105, and I suppose there's a website out there somewhere as well.
Yes, it's bay.ifas.ufl.edu.
Okay, just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it, Marjorie? Well, it's so good to see you again, my friend, and thank you so much for everything you do for our community.
Well, there's a lot of need, and people do want education, and that's what we provide.
And there's a lot to navigate in life.
It is.
Besides just doing your job day to day, I mean, you've got to run your household, and you've got to plan for your family and your future, and I think you bring a lot to the community for people who wouldn't otherwise know.
Well,
Thank you again.
It's
Good to see you. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.